Victoria will ban protests at places of worship and also outlaw terrorist flags, face masks and balaclavas. But the major response to rising acts of anti-Semitism has pitted Peter Dutton against Jacinta Allan. Simon Love reports.
Victoria is set to introduce laws restricting protests not only of a religious or political nature but also environmental. The Premier Jacinta Allan announced the government would consult on a ban on demonstrations outside places of worship. There would also be a ban on flags or symbols of prescribed terrorist organisations and a ban on masks or face coverings at protests.
Ski masks are for Mount Buller in the ski season. They're not for the streets of Melbourne. Those who seek to embolden bad behaviour, who seek to be anonymous, to threaten and intimidate Victorians, will be held to account.
Any group applying for grant funding from the government must also make a social cohesion pledge, with consequences if it's broken.
Anti-Semitism is a cancer. Anti-Semitism is a cancer, and we must leave no stone unturned to fight the evil of anti-Semitism, to fight the evil of this racism and hate in all of its forms, and also continue to work to help heal our multicultural community.
The Premier dismissed questions over whether the government considered permits for protests, and the opposition's also hit out that the proposal doesn't include move-on laws. Federal opposition leader Peter Dutton says the government has been too slow to act.
I just can't understand why it's taken the Allan government so long to react to the reasonable requests, particularly of Jewish Australians who have been treated in the most deplorable way. The Premier of Victoria says that she needs to do something about it. Well, of course she does, and she should have done it 14 months ago.
And what every community of faith and culture, indeed what every Victorian and Australian deserves, are leaders who lead without politics on this matter. We have just seen too many politicians, Liberal politicians, Greens political politicians, who have chosen to use a humanitarian crisis conflict as a cause for political division in our community. I find that utterly unacceptable. Utterly unacceptable.
Parliament won't be recalled early to consider these laws. The Premier says she wants to take the summer to get the consultation right, particularly the designated buffer zone outside places of worship. It's likely that a bill will be brought before the Parliament in early February.